ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the David C. Hutto Show. We're back. It is Monday, March 26, 2012. I'll just let this play out a little bit longer here for you. This is an oldie but goodie. We wrote this one last year. This album is available on iTunes. I'll put the link up here tonight on this broadcast so you can buy the album and whatever else you guys want to get. Also, I'll put the link up to my book, Call to War. Might as well check all that out. Man, I'll tell you what. Okay, we're this is going to be an interesting day. First and foremost, I want to say I got a little heated on Friday. I got a little, I had to have my head held together with duct tape for the entire night. I thought my head was going to blow off my shoulders. But then I see the news of today and what's going on today, and I'm like, whoa, wow, amazing, absolutely amazing. I feel like we are reliving the 1930s in Europe. It's like deja vu. I was, to actually tell you what I did last night, I actually went on to the military channel. I'm sure you guys know of the military channel or even the history channel. They did World War II in HD. So I watched the first two documentaries of how Hitler came to power, how Mussolini came to power, how Franco came to power, and how all these just radical fringe elements, they all kind of work together to get the machine going. And that's what I'm seeing right now in current history. And why this message today is so important is I'm going to dive into some things that we probably never covered on this show. And I really don't want to be a hypocrite, Last week, I got pissed off. And I will admit it. I got totally fuming pissed on Friday. You guys saw it, first and foremost. You guys witnessed me coming unglued, okay? Now, why did I come unglued? It's called righteous anger. Now, I know it says in the Word of God that I shouldn't let corrupt communication come from my mouth. It's something I've struggled with for a long time because I'm a blue-collar guy. I'm a guy on the street. I'm a guy that works hard. I'm a guy that busts his ass every day trying to make a buck, okay? So when I get irritated, I tend to swear a little bit, okay? And yes, one of my listeners and co-hosts, Lost My Beer, or Mike, he had to do a little damage control because I let a couple of N-words slip. So, for the sake of that, I want to apologize to any of my African-American listeners. You guys, I don't judge on the content of skin color. I judge on the content of character. Now, when I was referring to the sand N-word, I was referring to terrorists, Islamists, and Islamofascism. So, from now on, when I refer to these animals, I'm going to refer to them as inbred camels, spoofs, as opposed to the other thing. I'm sorry if that offends anybody. But, I'm a guy that likes to speak openly about things. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to get into the more kind of pressing things that are on my mind. Well, let's put it this way. Our country right now has never seen this kind of attack internally and externally in its history. They are attacking every aspect of our lives. Everything from our religion to the way that we do business, to the way that we live, to the way that we worship, to the way that we eat, to the way that we listen to music. It's all a constant attack or a co-opt or a corruption of one form or another. It's like a giant circle of sharks. And we're in the middle of this circle. And we need to start, pushing back. That's what I'm trying to say is as Americans, we're going to have to start pushing back against what is coming at us. Because I don't think we really know what is hitting us right now. What is actually going on? Well, I'll tell you. This is what happens when you turn your back on God. This is what happens when you become a godless nation, when you start acting like animals and you start acting like numpties. This is what happens. And I want to tell you guys, and especially at the end of the show, because I feel a sense of urgency that, I don't want to judge you guys or judge anyone for that matter. That's not my job. My job is to raise the alarm. Now, granted, I may sound judgmental, but that's because I can't stand evil. I cannot stand corruption. I cannot stand the double talk. I cannot stand the lies, and I can't stand the schmucks driving us into the dirt. Okay? So call me fire and brimstone, or call me Mr. Hypocrite, or call me whatever the hell you want to call me. But the fact of the matter is I'm very tired of, this whole thing that you got to hold back. You got to hold back. No. In the good book, it's mentioned several times about anger. And I'm going to tell you right now, God is not happy with us. If he was, this stuff wouldn't be going on. Okay? The entire globe is melting down in front of our faces. Historically, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm watching actual archival footage from World War II in HD talking about all these different leaders and different players in the chess game. Okay? Well, the same thing's going on now. It's a repeat cycle. Except this cycle is probably 10 times worse than the last one. Okay? 10 times worse. And I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I know everybody's sitting there, they're doing this doomsday prepper thing. I'm sure you see the ad come up when you log on to watch this show on Blog TV. They're talking about doomsday preppers. But the thing is if you don't have faith in God, all the preparations you make are in vain. You can't take it with you, folks. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? You're not going to take it with you, and there's no canyon, no rock, no mine, no bunker deep enough that's going to keep you between the maker and you when the time comes, okay? Everybody's going to face the same thing. Whether you're dead, alive, under the ground, above ground, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. And that's what I'm going to talk about at the end of the show. But we've got a lot more stuff to cover today than just your average shiitake mushroom, so to speak. Okay? So let's not, let's bite into this one piece of it at a time. Okay, the atheists had this giant, schmucky, stupid thing in Washington, D.C. And I watched this, and they said, oh, yeah, it's inclusive of everybody, and it's family friendly. I never heard such filth and vile garbage in my life from this one musician. I'm like, my God, you're a disgrace to all musicians. There is no anointing there. It's just a guy sitting there banging on a piano, simple chord progression that I could pull out of my ass on the guitar. Okay, simple chord progression using the F-bomb in every other sentence. Dissing the Catholics and dissing Christians. This weekend also, you had, let's see, Jeremiah Wright and Peanut Carter and various other schmucks in the left wing cabal kind of organized together for this thing and, you know, do the whole collective salvation thing. And if that doesn't creep you out, I don't know what else will. Other than the fact that the news today is just kind of grim. I mean, Obama, of course, the schmuck that he is, he's meeting with the Russian president. I'm not talking about Putin. I'm talking about the other guy, okay? He left his microphone on. And they caught the whole conversation. He was saying, well, I don't have the leverage to do what I need to do this election. I had freer leverage before. Something of that nature. And the guy's like, I understand. Okay. Does that tell you people anything? That this guy is a clear and present danger to our country and our way of life? That he is a communist? I know some of you are going, oh, he's not a communist. He couldn't possibly do anything to the United States. There's just no way. There's no way that Obama could derail the United States. It's too big. He's done a good job of it so far. He's circumvented the Constitution. He's circumvented all of our civil liberties. He's bypassed Congress multiple times, passed executive order after executive order, bankrupted the Treasury. He's in bed with all the big conglomerates in the United States, as well as overseas. He's in bed with Soros. He's in bed with all these organizations, these different things. And yet, you guys are still going, oh, there's no way that could happen here, man. There's no way. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Okay? I'm telling you this. I'm warning you right now. Things are not what they seem. And you know what they always say? That scum always rises to the top of the water. Okay? Well, you're about to take a big glass of scum. The purest water is at the bottom. Okay? All the crap and the floaties and the shit in the water is floating to the surface. And yet we're still sitting here buying the mainstream lie that everything's okay. And you've got people now so freaked out by the economy that they're buying tips. What is a tip? Well, it's not like a treasury bond. It's worse than that. Okay? They are so freaked out that they are buying these tips. Okay? This was big news today, too. Okay? Our currency is becoming a sham. It's turning into like the Deutschmark in the 1930s, late 20s. We are printing funny money. The world knows it. They are refusing to trade it. And they are buying our debt. Or they're buying these tip things so that they can get reimbursed for any losses they may incur. So what does that tell you? It's not okay, folks. I went to the gas station today, and I was shocked. I drive, a medium-sized car, okay, with a 12-gallon tank, maybe 14 gallons. It was half empty. You know how much it cost me to fill a half-empty tank? Almost $30. Where 10 years ago, I could get the same tank of gas, fill it up for $10. Okay? You wanna see inflation go out of control? Just keep drinking the friggin' Kool-Aid and burying your head in the sand. Another big story. There was a gold bar found with tungsten and lead in the core. It was the wrong weight. Somebody exchanged this, so even our gold isn't what it seems. So keep that in mind when you're going out there and buying gold and silver coins. Make sure it's the pure thing. I don't care if you have to cut the damn thing in half with a bandsaw. Make sure it is the pure element. Otherwise, it's worthless, folks. Or it's worth less than what it really is. So, one sham after another. One disgrace after another this weekend. One joke after another. And here we are. It's Monday, big news day. And it has got to be one of the most trying days I think I've had. Because I don't know where you guys are watching me from, but here in Colorado, we get these weird, freakish windstorms that come up. And my shop is actually on my property. And I'm sitting there trying to get all this stuff taken care of because I got a big order to fill. And the wind blows the items that I just got done staining, getting ready to seal and finish, up against the concrete wall of my shop. Scratches them all to hell. So I have to fix all this stuff and restain it. Big nightmare. Wind's blowing crap all over the place, blowing my lawn chairs into the house and the business and everything else. Dust is blowing. I couldn't even spray today. I wanted to get my stuff finished, and I couldn't even do it because the wind was blowing so bad. I'm telling you, there are forces at work here that are beyond your understanding. And the only way you're going to understand what's going on is for you to really tune in at the end of the show, because I'm going to go over it pretty clearly and concisely. And then I'm going to give you some solutions on what you can do to kind of counteract what's happening. And as for this weekend, just craziness on Occupy. The vermin in the gutters are at it again. They're taunting police officers with donuts. How childish. What, are you friggin' kidding me? Are you people that fucking stupid? Pardon my French. I mean, what is with you people? Are you morons or something? Don't you know you're useful idiots? And this isn't going to work out too good for you in the end. You might as well quit while you're ahead. If you're going to protest, like I said on Friday, do it the right way. Do it the way the Tea Party did it, and the other elements of our society have done it for years. And as you go out there with your signs and you peacefully assemble and you don't piss anyone off, you clean up after yourselves and you go home. You go to work. Now, granted, unemployment, we are officially in a depression. Let me tell you why. because unemployment's skyrocketing. We have inflation. The middle class is shrinking. Same with the rich, the lower rich. With the tax burden the way it is, they're shrinking. They're becoming the middle class. And then the uber rich, well, they're going to stay uber rich because they're the ones in control. And, I got news for you guys at the end of the show, too. There's nowhere you can hide. You're going to face the same judgment that everybody's going to face. And there's no money that you can buy yourself out of it. There's no way you can hide. There's no canyon deep enough that it ain't going to affect you. Okay? So keep that in mind. Because what I'm going to say today is probably going to blow your minds. But that's okay. That's another story, and we'll probably get into it more tomorrow because I have a feeling Jay will be on the show tomorrow afternoon. So me and Jay will be doing the show. But, I'm looking at the big picture here, folks. And, I'm not liking, quite frankly, what I am seeing with this big picture. Okay? Everything from the Occupy movement, everything from the atheists and these so-called men of faith corrupting the churches and corrupting our establishment, everything from the administration egging them on, to Obama having a conversation with a Russian president about our political issues and about our weapons shield, of all things. What planet am I living on, folks? I mean, seriously. And then you got guys like Farrakhan. You've got the Muslim Brotherhood. You've got every Islamo-fascist inbred camel spoof in the world that wants to circle the wagons like a bunch of hungry sharks and attack us. You've got the borders wide open. You got Obama not doing anything about it. Just encouraging it. Adding more fuel to the fire. He's throwing kindling and logs onto an already hot fire. Next thing you know, he's going to throw freaking napalm on it. Well, let's see how well this burns. Well, let me tell you, folks, it's going to burn pretty damn hot. Because things are heating up. Speaking of burning, here in Colorado, there was, and this is breaking news on this show. If there's any of you guys that are residents of Colorado, I want to tell you right now that there is a major forest fire burning right now in the southwest portion of the city, the metro area. Gee, is that coincidence? I don't know. It looks like it's over there, kind of off the beaten trail, but there are plumes of smoke rising from the southwest, almost like a volcanic eruption. There's so much ash and smoke in the air, it's hard to breathe outside right now. I'm inside in an undisclosed location in my little bunker here, broadcasting to you guys. And the fact of the matter is all things are starting to come unglued. It's not a conspiracy. You can sit here and say, oh, he's a whack job, he's a nut. Conspiracy. Conspiracy this, conspiracy that. Fact of the matter is, folks, I'm watching it unfold right in front of my very eyes, just like you are. And I don't know how many of you have your heads in the sand, or how many of you are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing right now. What you need to do is spread the message. We all need to start banging the gong. We all need to be the Paul Reveres of society. We need to alert people. This is it, folks. This is the big game. This is not your average, everyday meltdown. Okay? Not when you got vermin in the gutter taunting the cops. You got atheists saying that they're going to get bigger than the AARP and try to run us out. You got Islamo-fascists all over the world trying to start crap. You've got this big thing which is prophesied in Daniel and Revelations and various other chapters in the Bible where they're planning to march on Jerusalem. Okay, March 31st is when they're planning to march. Now, you've got the Russians right now staging in the Mediterranean. You've got Syria going bonkers. You've got the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and various other places. Now, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something for the person that has any common sense whatsoever. Is this all true? I have to say it is. Because it's prophecy being played out right in front of our faces. Plain as day. The warning signals have already been sounded a long, long time ago, and we haven't turned the curve yet. We're running out of exits, folks. We're almost, like I said on Friday, we're almost to the edge of the road. We're almost to that cliff that if we keep going, it's a straight shot right down to the fiery chasm. Okay? And there's not much you can do about it except have faith. And to actually prepare for what's coming and to help others and to serve others and to do what's right. As opposed to just be schmucks with your heads buried in the sand. That's all I'm saying. Man, I'm telling you, this is probably one of the craziest days I've experienced. I've been listening to the news all day. I've been tracking everything. On top of that, I'm watching documentaries. I'm studying different things, different trends, different patterns. I'm trying to figure out how I can best serve you. And no, for those of you who are sitting there going, oh, shut up and just get off the air, that ain't going to happen. Because it's not really up to you. It's up to God to tell me to get off the air. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be the loudest voice you're going to hear besides his. And I'm going to be here doing this and providing you with good entertainment, with whatever it takes in the news. Because no one's covering this in the mainstream media. They're too busy covering Madonna and all this other crap, this trash. That's what's going on right now in the world. So, we're coming up to our half-hour break. At least those of you who know, I do this thing in an hour-long segment. But man, I'll tell you what, I got furious on Friday. I was pissed. And I'm pissed now. I'm pissed now because it's like, how many more signs do you need? Okay? How many? How many before you wake up? Seriously, people. I mean, how many signs do you need? Do you need an asteroid crashing through your living room before you get your head out of your ass? Do you need an RPG flying through your living room wall? Because that's what it's going to turn into when you get these Occupy vermin coming out of the gutters and occupying your neighborhood and raping and stealing and killing everybody. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, sir, please don't hurt me. I'm a good liberal. I'm a good person. It doesn't matter to them. They want what you have. What are you going to do to protect what you have? What are you prepared for? I'm telling you, if you haven't woken up yet, you better wake up and stop hitting the snooze button on the alarm clock because time's running out. It is. It's almost to that point now where time is